Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Buenos dias. Bon dia. How are you today, Julie?
I'm very well, thank you. How is everyone?
Really good. And I just noticed that there's something wrong with the screen. Let's see if anybody can pick up what's wrong with the screen.
Oh, I got it.
You got it? There we go. All right.
Yes.
I'm going to put Bernie down there again, too. We're just to make sure we have a bit of fun on Friday. Been a busy week. I hope everybody's had a good week. Lots going on in the industry. A lot of virtual events, a lot of industry events, a lot of buzz. So, as always, Julie's put together a really good curation of this week's best social media posts from the industry. And we already got a visitor. What's up? Hello,
Look who's
Sabrina.
here.
And actually, while Sabrina's here, we have a little announcement next week. We're going to be super busy. We'll talk about this in the Power Post a little bit later. But we have a big live event going on. So Sabrina has will be coming on as the guest poster for next week's Power Post. She's going to be doing the post and as the guest poster. So thank you, Sabrina. Looking forward to seeing what you come up with. She also mentions, Julie, that she loves your haircut, which I do too. So
Thank you, thank you. I
looking good.
think Sabrina says this because she also got one, which is a bit similar from what I remember. So I love yours too, Sabrina.
The
It's the
summer cuts
summer
are in.
version.
Exactly, exactly. Thanks for joining, Sabrina. Anybody else that's with us today, please give a shout out, say hi, happy Friday, let us know what's going on as we go through this week's absolutely best, top, mega, however other descriptive word we want to use. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Power posts of the week. Julie, how are you today? How's it going?
I'm good. As you were saying, it's been a very busy week for all of the industry. And as every year, June is always a very busy time. In general, lots of events because all of the brands are trying to get their events out of the way before the summer because most of the attendees will be going on holiday. I will not be really willing to attend events, nor live, nor on virtual platforms. So it's impressive how many events will be happening next week. If you
100%.
want to
Yeah.
show the power post, you'll see.
Let's do it. Let's jump into it. I know I'm dragging my feet today, so this is not going to be 5 minutes long, is it? But let's jump into it. So, as always, let me bring it up onto the screen here. So, we've got Acomo Plus. This is our blog. So, if you head over to Acomo Plus, plus.com, you'll be able to find the this week's Power Post along with a bunch of other content that we put up. And if we scroll down, I think the first thing we always put in here is something related to the date. So, can you explain what's happening on June 27th, Julie?
Yes, I think it's a very special special day on Sunday because the recognition of entrepreneurs has been very tough, especially since the pandemic. So June 27th is the official day of how it's called. Let me rename. Where is it? Recognition to entrepreneurs, micro and small, medium-sized businesses. I think that's not the official title of that
Mm-hmm.
day, but it is a special date because from our industry, we have many small businesses, many people working by themselves or within very small companies like Acomo.
Mm-hmm.
And we need that day because we need the recognition. We need to understand all of the struggles. And especially in COVID times, if you have time, watch that video because these are the 5 things that small companies need to survive COVID. And I think we all need to be aware and try to help push for these special day for our industry.
100%. Well, let's go down to where we need to get to, and I'm going to let you go with this one first. So the first one on the list. So this is all the LinkedIn posts. Lots of great content here today and over the week. We got
So just
Mia
like
Mates in here too. Go ahead.
yes. So the first one we'll be talking about in is in Twitter. I think it's the last one on
hmm
Twitter.
Okay.
So just so you know, next week IBTM, Wired will be on, Engage Virtual will be on, also the London Climate Action Week and an event on sustainable events industry with Reset Connect. What's the other one? the Day of Diversity. So I think you need to at least try to sign up for one of those, because for our industry, it's very important. All of these topics will be like help us teach us for the future how to make things happen in a better way. Unfortunately, we won't be able to sign up because we will be at Mobile World Congress ourselves.
That's right.
One that has been interesting is from Naomi Hollis, as you can see here on the screen. She's managing the even grad students. I'm not on camera. I think I need to go there. So she's basically questioning: do you need to have social media accounts for your personal posts and also for your brand ambassador or work social media accounts? It's very time consuming to be managing two, sometimes three, because you have to manage also the company if you're a small
Yeah.
business, as we were mentioning before. And I guess the question is, what's the purpose of having them separated? If
Mm,
you think that this is very important, and if you do have the time, because you are probably doing something else that is not related to your work, then maybe it's interesting to have them separated from your personal and work one.
mm,
But if your audience is interested in you as a brand ambassador or as an event professional, and as she is saying, her whole life is related to events. So in
mm,
the end, it makes sense to make just one social media account and be sharing both personal and professional content.
yep.
Because also, I think people are more interested in authenticity, and authenticity is also very personal, and they want to see
Mm,
you as a person
hmm. Yeah.
across the bridge of you as a professional.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your
100%.
opinion, Jason?
It's a really good question. I mean, it's the one that we kind of keep going back and forth of. Initially, I had only a personal account, and I kind of did the opposite. Actually, I opened up a professional account to actually create some separation between personal and private, because I had the opposite effect, which was I wasn't posting because I wasn't sure if this was too personal, if this was too businessy
Hmm.
for whoever was following me. So I think you got to do what feels right for you. You have to do what works for you. I don't think that there's a right formula. For me personally, it's having a professional and a personal. I can post like more intimate photos of family life and kids in my personal one, and then on the business one, the content's really clear what I have over there. So for me personally, it's a little bit more work, but having them separate makes sense. But I totally get it. It's also more work. So yeah, it's I think it's a really good question to bring up that Naomi has here, and I think it probably the best thing to do is experiment with both and see which one works for you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Um, cool. So we loved this from Anne as well. Thanks for joining again, Anne. I think this one just slipped in this morning because she posted it last night. Remembering to press record on a virtual event is way too much pressure for me. Yeah, I get it. It's a big responsibility, Anne.
I'm still
Yeah,
laughing. Like, I found it so funny. Like, Anne is incredible in terms
yeah,
of content on Twitter. She's the queen for me.
she's the Twitter
And this
queen.
one was on point.
This was on point. So I'm going to come up to one that is close to us right now, and this is from Sina, and she is actually coming down to Catalonia for the Mobile World Congress, which is very exciting because, guys, we have an event happening in Barcelona for like next week. Next week, it's going to be amazing. We've got, I think they're saying about 35,000 people in person and about 25,000 that have signed up virtually. This is a real in-person conference that's happening in Europe. We've been following along closely. There's lots of controls. You have to make appointments to get your rapid COVID testing. There's going to be masks on site. but it's looking very, very positive, and I think it's going to be a huge, huge step in the right direction for the industry and showing and proving that we can come back to some sense of normality with the right things in place. And Sina here is talking about she's coming down to Catalonia and to be part of a campaign with the Catalonia Convention Bureau, and is also attending the Mobile World Congress. Julie and I and a few other people, Eileen and Sabina, will also be there. So yeah, follow along, follow Sina, follow us. We'll be posting stories, letting you guys know how it looks and what the Mobile World Congress looks like this year. And we're really, really excited. And on top of that, Catalonia is my favorite region, perhaps in the world. So I'll be following Sina along. I'm a little bit biased. My kids are Catalan, and
I was
so is
gonna
my wife.
ask, like,
So
are you really objective on that topic?
not at all. Zero. Zero. But that's okay.
I'm not
Okay.
either, so that's
Yeah.
fine.
So that is that one. And then I guess related, I'm going to do a little bit of a personal plug here. I had a tweet because of all the things that we're doing right now in terms of live. Is advice for anyone considering an in-person event is start planning early. It's more difficult right now. Planning an event has always been difficult. It's always been one of the most stressful jobs in the world. You're balancing many different contacts, many different phone numbers, emails, details, travel information. And unfortunately, it's much more difficult right now. You have to always be considering the COVID protocols. You have to always be considering the timings and new appointments for testing. And on top of that, what's happening is that all of these businesses have gone very lean over the last 12 months, in-person event businesses, and it's taking them time to ramp back up. And the result is that suppliers are working with usually with a bit less staff. The response times are slower, and on top of that, availability is very low. If you're looking to get a venue or a catering company or I mean, pretty much anything related to an in-person event, be prepared for a little bit of a delay. So get started early. If you're thinking about doing in Q4 of this year, Q3, Q4, even Q1 or 2 of next year, I wouldn't wait any longer. I wouldn't wait for, let's see what's happened, what's going to happen over the next couple months. Go ahead and get started. Start getting those suppliers in place, start getting those first options in place, because you'll be surprised when you start talking to people how low the availability is.
Agreed. It's a very tough period to be planning
Mm,
something live
yeah.
because it's so busy.
Hmm.
So yeah, start planning early. We were already doing this and like giving this advice to our clients
Mm,
in general, but I
yeah.
think it has become even more pressuring right now.
Yeah, yeah. No, we've seen it in practice now, and I think
Hmm.
I've seen Julia Solaris as well over in Las Vegas saying the same thing. It doesn't seem like it's limited to Europe or Barcelona. It seems like a global kind of pinch in terms of supply. So
For
um,
sure.
get planning, get those clients, get them on board, get them to start talking about it earlier, and maybe you don't need to put down payments yet, but at least start to get the ball rolling, start getting the options in place, start putting in like temporary reservations or second options, whatever it is. But my advice is like if you want to do an event in the next year, you need to be starting now, at least the planning. Um,
Also to know what you're getting into, because
yeah,
if you're not reaching out, then you will
mm,
not be getting the tips and advice from the experts who are actually working on this, as Sabrina is
100%.
saying here.
100%. Yeah, it looks like Sabrina's on board too. So I think she's seeing very, very similar things well, I guess that would be up in Germany or probably around the world. Sabrina's very global. So yeah, that is what we got today. We got a lot of other things going on. Don't want to take up too much of your guys' time, but please head over to the Acomo Plus Power posts. We've got Instagram posts as well, LinkedIn, Twitter. I don't think we have TikTok this week, but that's okay. We'll do it again next
I
week.
mean, I don't want to be like obliged to put a section if I don't feel like there is
Yeah,
any related content that
yeah.
is educational for our industry. So
Hmm. Fair enough. Yep, that sounds that if there's nothing there, don't need to just fill it for to have a filler, right? We're looking for quality here, guys. Quality,
Exactly.
quality. And yeah, and like we said, next week we're gonna have a guest post from the one and only Sabrina Myers from Hot Hospitality. She's gonna be curating the list, so look out for that next Friday. And as always, interact, say hello, and share links in the in this chat too. If you have a post you think should have been on here, share it in the links, and we can add it to this blog afterwards. So that's all I got today, Julie. We got a lot to do. So
Yes. And follow us next week while we'll be at
yeah,
Mobile World Congress.
exactly. We'll be at Mobile starting on Sunday. So we'll be doing stories and posts, trying to give everybody an insider's view of what the event looks like, one of the first major events post pandemic. So please follow along, Julie and I. My Instagram is at EventDad. Julie is going to put it in her comments
Yes.
or on LinkedIn. You can follow Julie Boulanger and on LinkedIn, and we'll be sharing as much as we can. Okay, all right. We got a shameless plug from Sabrina as well here. So she is starting something called the Get Visible Collective, and that launches next Thursday as well. So Sabrina, as soon
Include
as
it
you've got
next week, Sabrina.
exactly, yeah, put it in the power post. We'll give it the okay, the authorization. Cool. So thanks everybody for joining. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Sabrina, for saying hello and getting involved. And we will see you guys next week. Maybe we can still do the stream next week and do it with Sabrina.
Yeah,
What do
that
you
would
think?
be fun.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
We'll be
All right.
comparing our haircut.
Exactly. Be the haircut episode.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
Have a
Well,
precious weekend.
have a good weekend, guys. Take care.
See
Bye.
you.
Bye.